All right, and to the question of the day, we're asking what should be done to address the challenge of hijacked buildings?
And of course, you can share your thoughts with us and join the conversation by sending your 30-second voice notes or videos. Our WhatsApp number 078-459-1897. You can also, of course, reach us on X at SABC News_TV, #FullView. All right, let's begin with this particular story. Only 34 out of 257 municipalities achieving clean audits in the 2022-23 financial year.
Auditor-General Tsakani Maluleke blames this on poor accountability as well as leadership.
And she's also briefed the Portfolio Committee on Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs.
Local government has been characterized by dysfunctional municipalities, financial mismanagement, council and administrative instability, and crumbling municipal infrastructure.
The best province for clean audits was again the Western Cape with 21 municipalities.
But together with Gauteng, the Western Cape also had the most regressions.
Maluleke also points out that municipalities rely on consultants but still received disclaimers.
There are 3 audits that were still incomplete. Here, there's one where there was a delay in the audit process. And then there are 2, specifically Matebasi as well as Ditobotla, that have not submitted their financial statements. And their financial statements have been outstanding for a number of years now. In fact, fortunately, at Matebasi, the financial statements for the municipality and for the water board, those individual statements have been submitted. What's still outstanding is a consolidated set. And the financial statements for Ditobotla have not been submitted. The provincial government in the Northwest is assisting this particular auditee, this particular municipality, to attend to the matter of submission of financial statements. One of the big stories of our report, I've talked about the good news on disclaimers coming down. I want to also highlight that there has been an improvement in the rate of submitting financial statements. This was an issue we raised 2 years ago, where the submission rate had fallen to about 83%. Since then, there's been significant support and attention paid by the provincial governments to get municipalities to at least submit financial statements. And so we've seen a gradual improvement in the submission rate to what is now 94%. So that's encouraging. We believe that, indeed, the work of the provincial governments, insofar as disclaimers and submissions, as had been done in the context of the 6th administration, if we can continue with this type of posture and support, we'll be able to start seeing improvements across the line. We also keep highlighting that it's important to worry about disclaimers and non-submissions, and at least we're seeing some movement in that area.
All right, we explore this issue further now. We speak to Dr. Sethulego, Matebasi, political analyst at Free State University, and the South African Municipal Workers Union spokesperson, Papikie Mohale, who are joining us for this discussion. Good afternoon to you both, and thank you so much for your time. Papikie, I'm going to start with you. Another year, another worrying audit report on municipalities, 34 out of 257 achieving clean audits. Your reaction?
It's bad, Bongiwe. It's really bad. I mean, the AG has painted a picture, a bleak picture for the country's municipalities. And year over year, we receive these audit outcomes with the hope that there will be an improvement on the side of municipalities. However, we are not seeing material improvement. If you check what the Auditor-General has said, that none of the 8 metros except the city of Cape Town has received a clean audit. On that, you have these metros that have regressed. In totality, you still have a lot of municipalities that have actually regressed. So it is a bad picture, and it's a picture that needs the municipalities themselves, proctor, and to act on ensuring that this financial situation that we find ourselves in is addressed.
I'm going to get to the different layers of accountability in just a moment, but when you look at the fact that, Mr. Matebasi, I mean, an overwhelming number of municipalities continuing to struggle with poor financial management practices, what does this mean for the state of governance as well as accountability within the local government sector?
Yeah, well, good afternoon, Bongi, and good afternoon to my fellow guests and viewers. It's typical South African. We talk a lot, and we know what we need to do to resolve this problem. And I'm not even going to start to talk about posture and there's improvement. The question is, why are we allowing the situation to go on for one single day, not a year? We can't wait for the next Auditor-General's report to act, because people have been appointed who had to be held accountable. And the question is, why is that not happening? So for me, it's all about those with political power, who've got the leverage, sitting in the echelons of power, who are abusing that. It's nothing, and I can't put it in any other way. And that's why we will keep on talking about this for the next 30 years, because those in power, who has the power to take action, does not ensure that is actually being done, and we will forever be in this vicious cycle of releasing reports and making a hullabaloo out of that, but yet at the end, there's absolutely no consequence management.
Professor Matebasi, let me stay with you on that very point. It now boggles the mind, because we have to ask the question, where are the municipal managers, the mayors, the speakers, the provincial legislatures, the national government, when we are seeing this picture over and over again? Are they then fulfilling their duties as per their mandate?
No, not at all. I mean, and it's in instances such as this where communities should rise up. And by this, I don't condone and I don't encourage anyone to go out and burn down facilities. But people should actually wake up, communities, and say, we're not going to allow this to happen in our name. We want answers. Why? Because I don't understand. If a R1 has been spent, there should be evidence. And it's as simple as that. If somebody cannot produce evidence of where that R1 went to, then there had to be consequences. And it can't be a situation where you have to wait for a report. The question is, what happens? I mean, you've got a chief financial officer, and we've heard in the past how people complain about political pressure, but these are people who went to tertiary institutions, have got some training in financial operation, financial management. So they also have to be held accountable. Or people should not occupy positions for which they know at the end of the day they are not capable of at least maintaining and handling that particular office. So it's quite easy to say there has been political pressure by chief financial officers, but yet they also have to be held accountable.
Papikie, some of these municipal workers are your members. To what extent do you then, as their leaders, take responsibility for what is unfolding before our eyes?
Well, I think we should go back to what the Auditor-General said. The Auditor-General listed some of the reasons that have led to the situation that we are at. In particular, she raised the issue of political interference in municipalities. You have a situation wherein municipal workers are there, they want to do their work. However, the powers that be are there ensuring that workers do not do what they're supposed to be doing. Additionally, Bongiwe, the Auditor-General speaks about the use of consultants. So we have a situation wherein we have Bongiwe that's employed as an accountant in a municipality. The municipality will come with its own consultants to do the very same job that those employees are employed to do. And by the way, these municipalities in total, they've spent around 1.3 billion.
Yeah.
And that 1.3 billion, Dr. Matebasi, it has not produced any results.
So
many of those municipalities have actually received disclaimers and unqualified audits.
But Papikie, that's one part. And I agree with you. Of course, some of them are finding it difficult to do their work. But if we're hearing again from the Auditor-General that some municipalities don't even know who owe them, they don't even bill correctly, they're not even managing their debtors correctly, they're struggling to account for their capital assets, that speaks to some of the functions that some of those who are sitting in these particular offices, who are sitting in these particular portfolios, should be accounting for.
It would be grossly unfair to shift the blame to municipal workers. Municipal workers, I can safely say that when they execute their duties, they execute them with diligence and with care in the interest of ensuring that there is service delivered. Bongiwe, there is no municipal worker who in their right mind would ensure that, or rather go out of their way to ensure that a municipality is not financially stable. These are workers, by the way, who experience the non-payment of of salaries. There are workers, there are 29 municipalities that have failed to pay workers their salaries as we speak. So it can't be correct. The issue is systematic itself. You go to a municipality such as Ditsobotla, I'll give you an example about Ditsobotla. Just last year, when the municipality struggled to pay its employees, we went there. We met the former mayor. We wanted to understand, why is it that you've not paid these employees their salaries? To our surprise, we were told that the municipality has not been billing. Imagine a municipality that does not even have revenue collection mechanism other than the payments that they receive from residents. So it's just systems that needs to be corrected, Bongiwe.
Professor Matebasi, who's behind these systems? Because I'm also finding it difficult to say that now we're going to exonerate people that also need to carry out these duties as well. We do understand they work in the most difficult of conditions sometimes, but they are also responsible for these conditions. Do we exonerate municipal workers for what we are seeing and simply put it at the doorstep of the leaders?
No, but I do understand where the SAWU spokesperson is coming from, and it's just natural to try and protect where you can't even try to protect people. I work at the University of the Free State. I have to respect the executive of the university, but there's definitely issues which some of us will be very outspoken about, because you can't be complacent. And worst of all, if you've got situations where mayors are not billing, the question is, where are the municipal workers? Because they themselves are also, by the way, residents. But one thing that the Papikie have highlighted, which it's really actually a sad situation for municipal workers, where they have to go months on in some municipalities without getting paid. That is understandable. But we can't work in institutions and allow this situation to go. And then especially when you've got, organized labor like SAWU. And the question is there a bit of pressure that has been put? And this thing that we keep on using new phrases about disclaimers and all that. I don't want that. For me, are layers that have been built on over the years to try and paint a picture of improvement on what I find a very unacceptable practice at our municipal and various institutions in South Africa. We need to, as I've indicated, if we can't even account and know where our funds have gone to and provide proof, then evidence, then action needs to be taken.
Yeah.
And SAWU also needs to play an active role. And I don't say SAWU doesn't do that, because remember also we're talking about vulnerable workers who at the end of the day are just issuing or abiding to instructions. But you've got organized labor, and the question is also, what are these different layers and layers of institutions and organized labor? What role do they play in such a situation? Because it is a dire situation.
And Papikie, when, of course, going back to your earlier point now about this political instability, that's also making things somewhat difficult. And also at the same time, these consultants who are being parachuted to come and do some of the work that the municipal workers are expected to do. Certainly, this is giving us a problem. And there's an issue here with accountability. When you engage with various municipal managers, what do they say is the problem?
You see, the issue can never be about capacity. I do not believe in any way that municipalities are struggling with capacity, especially when it comes to the audits. Because these consultants, they are hired to prepare for audits. Do you seriously need to hire a consultant to go and print invoices? Because this is a job that workers are doing on a daily basis. Those employees, they are qualified to do that. However, because we know what the tendering system does, the moment you include the tendering system in municipalities, it opens a door for people to steal. And that's one of the reasons why even the Auditor-General has said that in municipalities, some of these expenditures that they have incurred, it's as a result, they should point to fraudulent activities. So people are actually appointing these consultants because they want to have something for their friends. And we can't allow a situation wherein municipal workers are not given the work that they're supposed to be doing because people want to appoint consultants. Because at the end of the day, it deals with the morale of those very same employees. Those employees are supposed to be working. And on a daily basis, Bongi, we always tell our members, we are going to advocate for you to have the correct tools of trade. Until municipalities are able to provide the correct tools of trade, we are going to be finding ourselves in the situation that we are in, unfortunately.
Prof, as a final question then, I mean, what Papikie is really saying there, it really is worrying, and it makes one wonder. When there was the opening of Parliament address, the President put a lot of focus on municipalities and how the situation needs to improve there. Yet here we are. Of course, this is an audit outcome of a previous time, but not where we are right now. But if this is anything to go by, and we're still facing these problems that we've been facing over time, what does it mean then for these efforts to try and fix?
No, well, then South Africans have to decide. And I think what we have seen in the past, maybe that's the route to go because people don't listen. For me, it's very simple. It seems as if whoever have been afforded such a privilege position to be able to lead South Africa, they are, and I'm going to put it bluntly, actually underestimating the power that actually resides in South Africans, the citizens, and not in our political leaders. And that's exactly what is happening here. This is a long-standing issue that we've been sugarcoating and we've been circumventing and working around it without facing it. There should be consequent management, there should be accountability, and not tomorrow, but today. But that is not going to happen if we want that, expect that to come from our political leaders, because we have given too much power to our municipal managers, our mayors, and some chief whips who have become demigods. People actually are so afraid of these powerful leaders at local government level that they will do everything that they are instructed to do. And at the end of the day, they are sacrificing everyone's future and also service delivery.
All right, it sounds like a mammoth task lies ahead, Papikie, as well, listening to what you're saying is happening on a daily basis in some of these municipalities. But let me thank you both for your time. I appreciate it. That was Professor Sethulego Matebasi, political analyst at the Free State University, as well as the South African Municipal Workers Union spokesperson, Papikie Mohale.